space, you think?
Suddenly in an underground mortuary on a wet night in Cardiff, I hear the song of a nightingale. Miss Martha Jones.
Meet you downstairs in the bar and heard your rolled up.
This was always the plan, to get Pharm into Torchwood as Martha Jones.
Just a casual visit, or...?
I'm here to complete your post-mortem.
Jack's given her a ring and said, I need your help, and she just shows up.
'Cause you're my fellow, my guy.
The way the door rolled open, it could be quite... So I was mindful to not make it like that, but at the same time, it's quite a nice, big, dramatic moment.
It's so brilliant to see that door open and she walks in looking so professional and now working for UNIT, and it's a completely different Martha.
I identified a pattern from UNIT's data on sudden deaths. Toxic shock, nothing to link the victims, different ages, sexes, ethnic origins, occupations, but there was a statistically significant concentration in South Wales.
The Martha Jones we see in Torchwood episode 6 is a much more grown-up Martha, I think, much more adult Martha. We did things with costume and hair that made it kind of look slightly more grown-up. I think a lot of it came from Pharm herself.
I'm still playing her instinctively, but there is a different energy. If you are in any situation where you're in different groups of people, it kind of brings out different aspects of you.
It's the ultimate magic bullet. It supersedes anything and everything in the pharmacological armoury.
It's almost like Jack gets a little bit of a thrill out of it. He probably thinks, I'm going to ruffle their feathers just a little bit here and see what happens.
And action!
Oh, it's good to see you, Jack.
It's the same when you introduce a new member to an end group. Dynamics change, and some people are rubbed it the wrong way, some people are rubbed it the right way.
You'll find his bloodstream is pumped full of ammonium hydroxide.
Bloodstream.
Have you checked his medical records?
No, I was just about to.
Let's give it a go.
I do think there is a jealousy from the rest of the team because they've spent a year with Captain Jack and no one really knows all the details of his life. And then all of a sudden this stranger, as far as they're concerned, comes along and obviously is privy to a part of his life that they're not. And it's just something that Jack and Martha and the audience share.
So, you and Jack go back a long way?
Forward and back, really.
What brought you together?
Let's say we were under the same doctor.
They have been through this massive thing together on Doctor Who. You know, they've saved the world. Well, she saved the world. And Jack knows that.
So, end of the World Survivors Club.
God, I am so glad to see you, Jack.
There are a few scenes in, they're having that chat that I'm sure the audience will be dying, for them to have.
Do you miss him?
No. I made my choice. Maybe sometimes. A tiny bit. Tiny. Then I come to my senses again. Anyway, I've got plenty to occupy me.
Oh, yeah, Miss Highfalutin. What is it, medical officer?
Oh, yes.
She's a qualified doctor now. She's continued with her sort of studies of extraterrestrial life and all that, but on Earth.
It just keeps turning Martha and shaping her. The more different lights you can cast on a character, the more different situations you can put them in, the more you discover it about them. And, we're seeing Martha expand and fly now because she's now working for UNIT, and UNIT is a big international United Nations army that deals with alien threats. So actually it's little Torchwood with 5 people stuck in a sewer underneath Cardiff up against great big UNIT which has the aircraft carrier Valiant and forces all over the world. So actually it's ever so subtle in the episode, but she's slightly coming in as their superior.
So do I have to call you Mom?
No. Just follow my orders to the letter.
She's slightly braver. She sort of put herself in a situation that led to her kind of being captured. I think she was a little bit, not careless, but her bravery kind of knows no bounds now, I think.
It is based kind of on a Mayfly, but we had to make sure it had an alien quality to it as well.
Originally in the script, it was described as something that was incredibly beautiful, as well as potentially dangerous.
He must have breathed in lava when one of his victims died.
And we came up with a way that it would walk, it would walk slightly more upright and have more kind of human qualities, I guess. Hopefully it starts off being scary, and by the end, it has a full sympathy.
We tried to develop something that was
a big scary insect, but something that had a much more sympathetic face.
The CG work is quite outstanding, really. It's really good, some of the best stuff, I think.
The filming of the Mayfly was a complicated scene just for technical reasons. It needed so many different angles, and you could stand in a certain place because your head couldn't shoot off of the green screen, so it was all had to be quite precise. That was the first time since finishing Doctor Who that I had to do Running Away from Make-Believe Monsters again.
This is Professor Copley, Samantha, Institute Director.
I see you're a postgraduate student at the moment.
How marvellous to have Alan Dale involved, which was that I couldn't believe it.
I actually called him Jim.
Oh, wow, Jim from Neighbours.
The whole Jim Robinson thing.
That drives him mad, I know.
Yeah, I have to shoot you. Years. How many years since Jim died? Whenever I talk to anyone, he has to come into the conversation. You sort of think, wouldn't it be nice if I could just be Alan Dale? But it seems to be I'm going to be doomed with Jim.
I remember him in Space Above and Beyond. He was in the first episode of that, and of course, it's been 24. He's been Ugly Betty now. It's like it's a huge star for us to bring to Cardiff, and to see him playing against John Barrowman, it's just icons clashing. It's good stuff.
We'd be delighted to give you the PR tour.
We go where we like.
Not here, actually. Ask Whitehall. We're fireproof.
I tend not to listen to Whitehall anymore.
Let me get someone to guide you back to your vehicle. He's a scientist who's looking after, he's developing a new drug that he thinks will change the world. We're on the edge of the greatest discovery in history. As far as he's concerned, there really isn't any justification for stopping that, and it doesn't matter what he has to do to make it happen. He doesn't care, you know. I mean, this is a war. You know, it's a war against illness, disease, and he thinks he's going to find the cure. He's very excited, and I think that's a pure thought in him. Becomes a little bit impure when he starts killing people.
Did you really think I was going to let you just walk away? You ruined everything I worked for.
Yeah, let's not be stupid.
Killing Owen wasn't done lightly or easily. It's hard, and it's the sort of show that needs it once in a while.
Owen, I mean, he's such a... They're all a massive part of this team, and that's a huge chunk that's just been pulled away. Shocking indeed.
And so at the end of the episode, when Owen's gone, you're kind of left with this huge hole. You know, who's going to fill it, and how are the team going to cope now without that element? You know?
If you're a member of Torchwood, it is actually genuinely dangerous. Anything could happen to any of them at any time.
But the Torchwood team sit in the hub and they face life and death decisions every day. You have to have death in order to make that count.
First of the gang with a gun in his hand, and the first to do time, the first of the gang to die.
Lovely. Let's all have sex.
What we do very clearly in episode 6 is make Owen indispensable almost to the team.
Okay, Jack!
He saves the day in episode 6.
Oh, and tell me you're sure. You can kill him if that's it. We're losing her!
That's what happens. People get shot and then they die, and it's all over very quickly, you know.
You're next.
We actually wanted to give a real sort of jolt to the audience and actually go, do you know what? All of your heroes, none of them are safe.
This is where Owen gets shot. He's just rescued and pulling Martha out from the farm, and Mr. Copley follows them and pulls a gun and decides, although Owen is desperate to try and reason with him, he gets shot. Nice straight shot straight into the heart. Byrne's has been shot a few times. Shot in the shoulder, so he's had a few squibs on him with blood. So he's an old hand at it. As far as the squib is concerned, there are different strengths of squib. The amount of blood, I got a last-minute request for a good amount of blood, which is measured out into a little bag. The bag is put onto a chest plate. This isn't an overly powerful gun, so we choose a squib accordingly. The squib then goes onto all of that, and that's all dressed in to the shirt or whatever costume they're wearing.